If you've ever heard of Harry Houdini, you probably think of escape acts, chains, locks, underwater boxes. But what most people don't know is that near the end of his life, Houdini became obsessed with something far more disturbing than any stunt he ever performed. He started going after psychics, not casually, not quietly. He made it his mission to expose them. And the reason why is a lot darker than you might expect. Back in the early 1900s, something called spiritualism was exploding in popularity. The idea was simple. Certain people, called mediums, claimed they could communicate with the dead. And at the time, this was incredibly powerful because millions of people were grieving. War had taken fathers and sons. Illness had taken children. Entire families were dealing with loss and they were desperate for answers. So when someone came along and said, "I can let you speak to them again," people listened. Now Houdini, as a magician, made a living by fooling people. But there was one key difference. He always admitted that it was a trick. Psychics didn't. So Houdini started attending séances, basically these small, dimly lit gatherings where a medium would contact the dead. And he didn't go as Houdini, he went in disguise. He would sit quietly in the audience and just watch. At first glance, the séances were convincing. Tables would move on their own, hands would appear out of nowhere. Voices would whisper messages that sounded personal, sometimes too personal. But Houdini wasn't watching the spectacle, he was watching the details. And almost immediately, he started spotting things. Tiny movements, hidden wires, subtle signals. The same techniques he had spent his entire life mastering as a magician, except now, instead of entertaining people, they were convincing them their dead loved ones were in the room. What made this even more complicated is that Houdini actually wanted it to be real. When his mother died, he was devastated. He went to multiple mediums, hoping at least a little that one of them would actually reach her. But every single time, he caught them using tricks. And that's when his curiosity turned into something else. He began publicly exposing mediums. He would attend seances and then reveal exactly how the tricks were done. He wrote articles, gave interviews, and even testified before Congress, arguing that these people were taking advantage of grief. He also offered a standing cash reward to any psychic who could prove their abilities under controlled conditions. No tricks, no darkness, no excuses. No one ever claimed the money. This obsession ended up costing him one of his closest friendships. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy who created Sherlock Holmes, was a firm believer in spiritualism. He thought Houdini actually had real supernatural abilities and just didn't realize it. Houdini completely rejected that idea, of course, and eventually the disagreement destroyed their friendship. Before Houdini died, he set up one final test. He created a secret code and shared it only with his wife. He told her that if it was possible to communicate after death, he would send her that exact code. After he died in 1926, she waited and waited and waited. For 10 years, she attended seances hoping to hear it. It never came. And depending on what you believe, that either proves nothing or it proves exactly what Houdini had been saying all along, that even the most convincing experiences can still be illusions.